Today, you are going to learn how to hit that minimum spend on your credit card. As you may know, most credit card companies offer a huge cashback or point sign-up bonus once you get a new credit card. Most credit cards, that is. But in order to hit that sign-up bonus, you're going to have to hit the minimum spend requirement. Basically, you need to spend a certain amount of money within a given time period, which is usually around a few months or so. That minimum spend requirement amount also varies depending on which credit card that you get. For example, entry-level credit cards usually only have a few $100 minimum spend requirement for that sign-up bonus. But those more premium, advanced credit cards tend to have a higher sign-up bonus and a higher minimum spend requirement, usually a few $1,000s or sometimes even above $10,000 for business cards. Obviously, the more entry-level credit cards and the lower minimum spend requirements are a lot easier to hit. But if you do apply for a more premium credit card, it might be a little bit harder to hit that minimum spend requirement. And that is why today I'll be showing you a bunch of different ways on how you could hit that minimum spend requirement. I know for a fact that you could at least use one or a few of these creative ways to make sure that you hit that sign-up bonus. Before I get started though, I just want to say something that should be pretty apparent to you. And that is you should not be going into debt of any sorts just to hit that sign-up bonus. If you need to spend more money than you have, or you need to carry balance or pay interest just to hit that sign-up bonus, well, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're ready for that credit card just yet. And that's because whenever you apply for a new credit card, you have to hit that sign-up bonus. I can't think of a single way of you intentionally wanting to miss that sign-up bonus and miss out on all those extra points and rewards. The first way to hit that minimum spend on the credit card of, let's say, $3,000 is to simply spend $3,000, but not you, someone else. One of the best and easiest ways to hit that minimum spend is to simply add an authorized user to your credit card account. The overall process of adding an authorized user is pretty straightforward and simple for most credit cards. In fact, you could probably get it set up within just a few minutes. And this is great because your authorized user's transactions or purchases is actually going to help count towards that minimum spend requirement. And that way, you won't have to spend the entire amount to hit that sign-up bonus. Of course, you should only add trusted people to become an authorized user on your account. That's because at the end of the day, you're still responsible for whatever they put on that credit card. And for most credit cards, adding an authorized user is free or there's a small fee to it. But if you don't want to pay a fee at all, there's actually another way to get around that. And a great way to bypass that is to just simply have one of your friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, or family member use your credit card. And I personally use this method so much. Needless to say, you do have to trust this person as well, sometimes even more because you're giving away your credit card information or your whole credit card. So again, if they don't pay you back for whatever they put on that credit card, you're still held liable. You still have to pay the thousands of dollars that they just put on your credit card. So I only recommend doing this with family members or if you know where they live, just in case. For an example, the other year my parents had to buy new curtains, so I asked if they could put it on my credit card and boom, that was like $1,000 right there that I didn't have to worry about. I was that much closer to hitting my minimum spend requirement. Or let's say maybe you are one of those few rare people that actually have friends and a social life and don't talk to a camera during their free time. Well, then that means you probably go out to barbecues or dinners or clubs or bars with other people. Whatever you may do, if it involves a tab or a bill, put it on your credit card. We are living in the 21st century, people. So there's Venmo, PayPal, cryptocurrency. There are multiple different ways for your friends, co-workers, or whoever else you're going out with to pay you back literally right then and there. We no longer have to split checks or even pay each other back with cash. We're not in the 1900s anymore. Just put it on your credit card and they'll pay you back somehow. Or maybe they don't and you lose money and a bunch of friends. But watch out, because if you also have a lot of friends or coworkers that also have credit cards, they might want the points for themselves. I've personally never had to deal with that situation, but I've heard about it coming up in other people's lives. Just tell them that you're trying to hit a minimum spend requirement and you need those transactions, you need those purchases. And hopefully they just let you put it on your card and pay you back. If not, you gotta get new friends. Another huge way that you can easily hit that minimum spend requirement on your credit card is to put your rent or mortgage on it. And in most cases, you can't just do that directly. You're going to need a third party or another service to do that for you. For example, plastic.com. And this is great because rent or mortgages could be easily a couple $100 or even over $1,000 or maybe thousands of dollars. I don't know where you live. So if you put that on your credit card, you should have a much easier time hitting that minimum spend. The one thing that I will say about using services like Plastic is that at the end of the day, it's still a business. They need to make profit. So they do usually charge a service fee of around 2.5 to 3% per transaction. It may suck just a little bit because you have to pay a little extra cash as opposed to just paying with literally cash at a discount, but it's going to suck a lot harder if you miss that sign-up bonus. So if this way, paying your rent and mortgage using services like Plastic is going to allow you to hit that minimum spend requirement, then in most cases, it's definitely worth it with the amount of points or cash back or rewards that you get in return for hitting that sign-up bonus. Adding on to this, you could also add your bills and utilities to your credit card, just a bunch of expenses that you have to pay anyway. As a matter of fact, you could actually pay your tuition on Plastic as well. So if you're a student or you have to pay someone's tuition for some reason, then this is a very viable way that you should consider looking into. Another great way to hit that minimum spend on your credit card is to use this card for your business. But not all of you may own a business, but you could always buy something and resell it. For example, shoes, clothes, things you find at a thrift store or garage sales, Amazon drop shipping, etc., etc. There's lots of things they could buy and then resell on platforms like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Etsy, eBay, and so on. If you find a product or service that you could buy and you end up selling it to someone for the same price or even just a little bit more, then you come out on top. That's going to help you hit that minimum spend requirement. Personally, I also use this one a lot as well. I don't have a legit business by any means, but I buy shoes, clothes, and other random things and I resell it. That way, I don't have to actually use cash that's coming from my bank account per se. And that's because someone else is paying for my minimum spend requirements. Even if you do just break even on these sales, it's still a good thing for you because you're still reaching towards that minimum spend requirement. I don't know if everyone may be cut out to do this or would want to do this because it does require a lot of extra effort or work because you have to go and find something to buy or worth buying, and then you have to find someone to buy it from you. But if you do find something that works and you could stick with it and repeat the process, or even if it works just a few times, that's good because it's very effective and it helps you out a lot. The last way to easily hit that minimum spend on your credit card is to simply just wait until you want to make or you have to make a big purchase. Yes, this one is super simple, basic, and self-explanatory, but sometimes it's overlooked. If you're planning on moving, buying Christmas gifts, or just birthday gifts, a new phone, new computer, etc., 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 wait until you get a new credit card before you actually make that big purchase. You're going to spend all that money anyway, so why not wait until you get a credit card and use it to help you get that sign-up bonus? A little bonus tip is you could also buy gift cards with your credit cards to help hit that minimum spend requirement. But just be very careful because some companies like American Express actually don't allow you to do that. They might request a financial review or close your account or do something worse like take your firstborn child or something. So honestly, this is a kind of like a last case scenario kind of thing, and you should not charge or buy a couple $100 worth of gift cards. It should be like $5 to $100 maybe. Honestly, the smaller the amount, the better, or the safer you'll be. Again, do not use this as your first method or your main method, please, because it could put you in a lot of trouble. But if you have just a little bit more to go to hit that minimum spend requirement, sure, buy one gift card for $20, McDonald's, whatever. So at that point, you might as well just get like 20 McChickens anyway. If you were ever nervous about a high minimum spend requirement, it's okay. I was there before too. It just takes a little bit extra work or thinking to try and find these creative ways to try and hit that sign-up bonus or that minimum spend requirement without actually spending your money. Well, I guess technically it is your money, but at least finding creative ways or smart ways to do it. Hopefully you're able to use some of these tips to your advantage because I know I did and it 1000% worked and is worth it. Maybe you use a different way to hit that minimum spend requirement. Well, let me know in the comment down below. I'd love to hear how other people made it work as well. And please give this video a like and subscribe down below to help support us and this channel. And if you want to learn how to maximize those hard-earned points that you just got from that sign-up bonus, go ahead and click on one of the videos right here. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shoots.